Hello, this is Scrap Artisan. Today I'm going to show you two different ways of how to attach applique or a patch. If you have an iron on patches, you need to heat the iron first. I use heat and bond ultra hold for my patches so that you can attach them with an iron. The instructions say to press for 8 seconds with medium heat without steam, but it really depends on the fabric you're trying to adhere to. You need to adjust by giving less time for thinner fabric but more time for thicker fabric. It also depends on the material of the fabric as well. Needless to say, you can't attach iron on patches on leather or vinyl. When your iron is heated, place your patches glue side facing to your desired fabric. Don't forget to use a piece of scrap fabric or Teflon sheet like I'm using here in order to protect your iron. Otherwise, you smell the burn and it takes time to clean your iron. This heat and bond takes 8 seconds to glue, but I give it longer because I'm attaching it to my jeans. While you're ironing, be careful not to move the patch, but make sure the entire part of the patch is glued on. Also, it is very important to let it cool down completely and allow the glue to set before moving it around. When it cools down and the patch is securely attached, turn it inside out and iron it from the back of the fabric for a few more seconds to make sure the patch is glued on. You don't need to use a protective sheet at this time. Also wait until it cools down completely. And here we go. The tail and the legs are all attached to the fabric. But when you wash the patched garments repeatedly, the glue eventually comes off, particularly thin parts like the tail and the legs of this cat or the stems of a flower design tend to come off easily. In that case, you can sew on the patch to the garment. It's not difficult, and it's a good life skill everyone should know. I will explain it to you next. To attach a patch, you need a needle and thread. You also need a couple of pins to hold the patch to the place while sewing. If you don't have pins, safety pins should do it. First, you thread the needle and take one side of the thread much longer than the other, and make a knot at the end of the longer side thread. Start by inserting the needle from the back of the patch to the front, so that the knot you just made can't be seen. I'm using a thick white thread here for the clear presentation, but usually choose an unnoticeable color thread. After the needle comes to the front, scoop a bit of the fabric, in this case the jeans fabric, about 1/16 of an inch, right around the edge of the patch. Then bring the needle from the back to the front of the patch. You basically just keep repeating this simple process all around the edge of the patch. It may be tedious work and you may not be able to do it easily at the beginning, but I encourage you to practice. It's worth it to learn because the same stitches can be used to raise the hem of skirts and pants as well. You may be paying $10 to alter the length of your pants, but it can be done in 10 minutes on your own. After sewing all around the edges and coming back to the start point, you make a knot again to end the process. To do that, hold the middle of the needle with one hand together with the fabric securely, and wrap around the needle with a thread a couple of times to several times, depending on the thickness of the thread and the fabric. In this case, I wrapped around 3 times. And while holding the needle and the fabric, pull out the needle. Then, a knot is made right on the fabric. Pull the thread to tighten the knot. At the end, bring the needle from the back of the patch to the front for the last time to hide a knot under the patch before cutting the thread. Thank you for watching. Let me know your comments and questions. No question is too small or fundamental. Recycle your effects and keep garments longer by taking care of them to leave a better environment to our children.